Namaste, welcome back to the channel.
Hi.
And today we have a special treat because we have come out to the Ponce de Leon River Springs float here in northern Florida to the spring aquifers, and we've decided to do a nice gentle float coming down the river, and we wanted to tune in with all of you. As last year I did one of these floats as well. Come here, Evie. We gotta hold hands as we float down this river. But yeah, this is a pretty Evie can't get on her floaty. Get on your floaty, Evie.
Yeah.
Just a moment. Okay, it takes a moment to get situated because back there is the entrance point to get into the springs, and then there's a little waterfall, and on the other side of this there's like a big pool where the kids can swim, and you think they have like a diving board, but it's all natural spring waters. And in northern Florida, believe it or not, guys, there's actually multiple spring river floats and aquifers. Most of them you can't tube in them, like you have to do a kayak, but so we chose to do one that you can get on the tube and you can float down, because getting a kayak is like a whole big deal. Not that I wouldn't do a kayak, but it's just a lot more to rent the kayak and all of that good stuff. So yeah, we just wanted to float because we love the relaxation and just the beauty and the magic of getting to float down a river. It's literally like just the best thing ever. I love it so much. It feels so good. How does this feel?
Yeah, it feels very natural. The water is like crystal clear, and it's also like, yeah, very, very cold, like some high energy, yeah, coming in.
Yeah, the water's not warm, so it's super hot here in Florida. I mean, especially July and August, it is just smoldering hot. Like super hot. You walk outside and you immediately have to walk back in or jump into the pool or into the ocean because it's just so hot. But here in these spring river aquifers, it's really cold, cool water. I think it's probably around like 70 degrees, I would say. And it's just, yeah, it's just really gentle and really relaxing. See, we're going to be floating all the way down there, so we're going to take you guys on this little journey with us. There's already some people down there floating. We'll get to a point where it crosses into a big river, and that's when we'll get off. But for now, we're just going to enjoy the journey because we'll float really nicely and really slowly here. But on the way up here, because this is about an hour and a half from my house, and we got into a deep conversation earlier, and it was really about the primordial serpent energy and how connected these fresh spring primordial waters are to the serpent energy of the planet. And my biggest qualm as we were on our way up here was that one thing that has been driving me crazy, and I probably will, maybe some of you will disagree or maybe some of you will align with this, but I got into the discussion of where the dragon energy originates from, because we talk about how most things energetically, in terms of the intelligence and the cosmology that exists here, the embodiment of it on Earth, originates from a celestial body, right? So if you think about the dragon energy, well, this originates from the dragon constellations. It originates from Draco, right? And I've gotten in these deep conversations before with people where they say, no, the dragon energy is not from Draco. It's a primordial energy all on its own, and it's of the planet's original nature. It's of the planet's original primordial essence. But, you know, I'm a Hydra starseed, right? So that means my cosmology, my embodiment hails from the Hydra system. It hails from the serpent cosmology, which all of my extensive research going back all the way to the motherlands of Mu and all the way back to Lemuria. And a lot of my boots on the ground research in South America has ultimately led me to the serpent's cosmology as the origination, as the original mother, primordial templating of Gaia's consciousness. And so there's always been this dispute between serpent and dragon. Has there not, Evie?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm Hydra too, also, so maybe I'm a little bit preoccupied.
Yeah, and maybe we're a little biased because we're Hydra starseeds.
Yeah.
But really, the dragon's energy, it is primordial mythos. Wouldn't you say it's more primordial mythos? Even though we do ethereally connect with the dragon's consciousness. The problem with the dragon's consciousness is I feel like this has everything to do with the Draco invasions and the great betrayals with the Lyran Wars and the Orion Wars, that somehow this dragon consciousness is at the precipice, or it's at the awakening, or it's at the crux even of the warfare, of the division, right? Because the dragon's energy, whether we want to admit it or not, and this is where a lot of people won't want to admit it. Okay, I might even have some naysayers on this video right now, and that's okay. It's okay, because we're just having a conversation, and we're just bringing some different perspective forward. Yeah, it's an opinion. But the dragon's energy, there's no separation. There is technically no separation, right? It's all unified. I mean, it's with all existence, all life force energy, all creation energy. There's no separation. But the dragon itself. Oh, we got some kiddos crying down the river.
Alligators.
We're gonna let them pass. Some little crocodiles. Some crocodilians are coming by. It's okay. Gotta let the little ones have their experiences. But the division and the dragon, the betrayal of the dragon, the separation of the dragon. Evie straight up telling them to
It doesn't work.
It's okay, little one. Calm down over there.
Maybe.
Well, do you see how that chaotic energy just kind of like spoke up there as we're talking about this? Yeah, so there's a division within the dragon's essence. And I honestly feel like the fall of man is at the crux of the division or the warfare within the dragon lineage. Okay, and then the suppression or the demonization of the serpent. And this goes back biblically speaking, right? We talked about this as well, that this stems from Genesis, right? It was the serpent in the Garden of Eden, in which represented knowledge, that represented wisdom.
The divine feminine, even?
And the divine feminine, right? And that was casted as evil, as the root of evil. And we know historically, everything that's casted as evil, there's something deeper underneath that. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason why. And I really feel like it is the division between the serpent ideologies, between serpent and dragon. I'll tell you what, nobody knows what happened between the serpents and the dragons, or why or where that division ultimately stems from. I personally feel like it has to do with the north and the south nodes, the north and the south poles. The dragon essence, the origination of the celestial dragon's essence, which is the Draco constellation. That is the highest point of the northern hemisphere. And Hydra, which is the serpent cosmology and ideology, this sits in the south. It sits in the south. So I really do feel that the division obviously lies in the deepest polarity of duality on this planet, according to the astrological division of that consciousness. But not only that,
well,
it's the dragon that has represented the masculinity.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
And that's why in South America there is more like affection with the serpent energy. Like the serpent is connected to the south in the Andean cosmology. It's the snake is like the protector of the south, the guardian of the south. So, and when I visit South America, it feels almost more like a feminine energy. So
yeah. So yeah, the crux, I guess, would be the oppressive aspects in the southern hemisphere, oppressing the southern hemisphere, so to speak. And it probably is because there's more land in the north. So because there's more land in the north, there's more dominance of the dragon energy to the north versus the serpent of the south, right? But the serpent of the south, I feel, is the inner reverence of the beginning of the motherland of Mu. We go back to the Nakal people of the motherlands of Mu, which are ancient ancestors of the Lemuria. It's where the Lemurians descended. See, this is where I think people also get caught up in it, is because they don't go beyond Lemuria. Now, if you go beyond Lemuria and you go into the motherlands of Mu, and into the cultures of those that resided in these greater bodies of land in the Pacific, they honored and worshipped a 7-headed serpent god. And this is their creation tales, their creation stories. According to even the natives of the Polynesia, they would call this the Feke. The Feke. So it goes back to, I think it is the Feke. It goes back to the octopus, ultimately. It goes back to the squid. So that's kind of the descendancy of the serpent, primordial creator essence. Is, I believe it's a representation of honestly the worshiping of the tectonic plates in the deep Pacific, and the churning and the slowing of the skin of the underwater tectonic plates as Earth rebirths herself underneath the deepest waters. Okay, so if you think about honoring the serpent essence, that's, I think, what it stems for. And also, in essence, why the serpent slithers belly to belly with the earth. Okay, representing the solar plexus of the Mother Gaia itself. Now, because of these truths, it's hard for me to place the dragon essence above and beyond that, because I don't feel like the dragon represents the true essence or the true nature of the inner turning of that. But what do you think, Abby?
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Yeah,
you're doing good.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm just trying to navigate a little bit.
Okay. We're in some crazy waters here.
Yeah, it's a little bit like there are like cranks under the water. So yeah, but I think we were talking also about like the serpent mounds, and that the flow of the rivers is also like normally formed like the body of a serpent, because it energizes the water in that way. So I think the serpent is like, how do I say it, almost a symbol for divine feminine gnosis, for divine feminine knowledge. So, and that's why we were talking about Adam and Eve, where they are like demonizing the serpent, while I feel like the serpent was in that case like bringing the true ancient knowledge, being the apple, also like our Taurus energy field. So yeah.
Well, even in New Age spirituality, the serpent cosmology is ultimately rejected. It's rejected amongst those that would consider themselves to be of the dragon bloodlines and the dragon clans. It is, because they don't want to honor the serpent or see the serpent. That's my qualm within all of this, because, and I was telling Evie in the car, I'm a Hydra starseed. My incarnation, my life path, my purpose is to reckon the awakening of the serpent. It is to dissolve the demonization of the serpent cosmology here on this planet, because of what it ultimately represents. And this is where the whole what's it called, where you mix the types together, the mythos together, like you have the like the Hydra, they would say, or even the Seraphim, they would say that they are a dragon, serpent, burning one, or body, that they are one being ultimately. Now, if we put everything into wholeness and unity of the northern and southern hemisphere, yeah, that would represent one body, but I don't know if that's truly what it ultimately is. What do you think?
Do you think it's also connected to the Kundalini, like the merging of the, well, like two snakes? I think for me it feels also like when you said earlier, like the dragon feels like more masculine and the serpent like more feminine. That maybe there is also a connection to the Hieros Gamos, like in the sacred marriage, you know, that for healing, maybe those energies.
Yeah, in order for the law of gender to exist, there has to be a dragon and there has to be a serpent. Yeah. That is the merging of the dragon and the serpent, in which has birthed or created the gender law. Just duality law in general, right? That's a very interesting concept to kind of think about, isn't it?
We're coming across
an obstacle here, guys. So you see this big tree that's going across the river? I'm gonna have to get my booty over this.
I'm gonna have to push it over it.
Oh my gosh.
Wait a moment. I go first.
I lift my booty up and Evie pushes me over.
Oh guys.
Oh my gosh.
Have fun. Okay. Ready?
I'm ready. Ready, go. You know, I think the water is usually a little bit higher, so you wouldn't normally hit on that tree stump there.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah. But the serpent, you know, it represents these springs. The rivers, these are the soul river lines of the planet. This is how all of the cleansing and the emotional clearing of the planet actually flows through the grids. And so, yeah, it's very significant, that's for sure. We're also getting a lot of diamond activations and codes over here.
Bye.
Abby!
Don't leave me with the alligators. Okay.
There are alligators in this river, guys.
We're good to go.
But you know, honestly, we haven't seen any.
Well, maybe the alligators are also connected to...
They're like connected to the dragons.
Yeah.
And I so get that people are going to be like, no, there's dragon lineages that are not connected to Draco. But I don't know. I've been tuning into this for like the past 5 to 7 years. And every time that I truly, what I'm trying to say is that, is there a purity spectrum of the dragon that originated from Draco? I think so. That's what I think. I think that the pure essence of it is from Draco. It's just that the filter or the lens in which people have is deception.
Is distorted, huh?
It's distorted. Yes. So we have to clear the distortion over the dragon celestial intelligence fields, because that is the quantum energy of the dragon that fuels the ethereal dragon. It fuels the ethereal dragon. And so I think, you know, that's ultimately the point that I'm trying to get to, because when we talk about going to the depth or the vault of Orion to unlock the division and the warfare, that does stem from the division or the disembodiment of the dragon. One of the biggest missions that us as starseeds and those in the spiritual community do is we search for our dismembered dragon parts.
Yeah.
Right? We search for it. We try to bring this back into wholeness, and this is something that feels like a defeated task in some levels, because there's so much amnesia, there's so much chaos, there's so much drama, there's so much limitation around this. People truly don't know where all their dragon parts are. I'll be honest with you, I don't know where all the dragon parts are. We know that we've come to birth some eggs. We know that we have come to look in certain places to find them, to bring wholeness and to bring unity. But really, it represents division, because it represents planetary warfare and implosion, an actual implosion where things have actually separated and have actually been dispersed into parts. And so the dragon's quantum vibration and energy is, I guess you could say, locked and dismembered planetary parts going back to planetary creation and planetary war history, according to those wars, the celestial wars. So until we can really, I think, get a grasp on truly what happened in Draco, right? And what led to the coming of the Lyran Wars and what led to the coming of the Orion Wars, I don't think we can get to the core of restoration within that.
That's why we are murky waters now.
And now we've come to the murky waters. Right? Because we've gone from clarity to now uncertainty, or...
You want a murky ride?
The subconscious and the unconscious. The crocodiles are definitely over there.
Are we going to
That's where they
explore
are, guys. Oh my gosh, no. We can't go over there.
Okay, let's return.
Although I wish I could keep floating. I wish we could keep going. I wish that the ride wasn't so short.
We can turn around, like in a loop.
Okay. And we'll just float back?
What?
And we'll just float back? Okay. Just keep swimming,
It's the reception loop, maybe.
It's the deception loop. We came to it. Well, I think these crystal waters bring clarity. Now, I just want to say, you guys, there's so many beautiful springs to explore here. Oh my gosh. So we were looking them up the other night. There's an emerald spring float. There's a rainbow spring float. There's a sapphire spring float. Crystal spring float. Like... Yeah, there's so much to discover here, and these aquifer spring waters, like...
Yeah, it feels also very much solar encoded now.
Yeah, and I think it's very magical, and I think it's all encoded to the Sarasota Stargate.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I think this must be the full essence, because this goes actually down to Orlando. Drop it down in the comments, guys, if you have been to any of the spring aquifer rivers and have floated down them from Orlando up to northern Florida. I know there's a whole bunch of them. So right now we're getting an activation of that Hydra Stargate, because I've always accompanied the celestial encoding of the Sarasota Stargate to Hydra. It's a second dimensional Stargate, so it represents the shift into the second dimensional fields and below the 33rd parallel. So once you go below the 33rd parallel, you are accessing Hydra territory, technically.
And that's dangerous.
Yeah, that's why the South American, right? The cosmology of South America. Where are all of the serpent? There's a couple serpent, like significant serpent archaeological sites down in South America. Is any of them ringing a bell off the top of your head? Drop it down in the comments if you know, but I've come across them before. I've written about them on my blog, IndigoAngel222.com, because I put an article out called The Rebirthing of Hydra into the Collective Consciousness. It must be known, you guys. Hydra must be known at this time. And Hydra is not an Atlantean distortion. I just want to say that. It's not, because that was an inception that came through Greek mythology. Everything that you see in the stars that was encoded, according to Greek mythology, was an inception from the division and the warfare going on in the Draco constellation. Yes, it's a mind control program. Everything that was basically painted, the stars and their meaning was painted by the victors of the Lyran and the Orion Wars. So that's something to also keep in mind when some of this information might feel somewhat resistant against the dragon leagues and lines. It's not to be resistance, but it is rooted in resistance, because the resistance is what brought the rebellion ultimately. So it does activate your those codes actually to run within you, even when you just start talking about it, doesn't it?
And I think the serpent is also connected in like shedding the skin, shedding the past. I think these times are also important, like making peace almost with your past, because there is a lot of influx of high energy, so a lot of shadow coming up. So I think this serpent is also important in that association.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. That was coming up significantly over the Lionsgate. And also the temperament of the war-torn masculine body. Let's talk about that. That dismemberment of the dragon must be lodged in the war-torn masculine body, and that's why the dismembered parts are hard to put together, because we're looking in the feminine for it, and we have to look in the masculine.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I'm
Wow.
just concentrating.
Wow. Abby's falling in the river.
Don't film me.
Don't fall in the river, Abby.
Okay, we're going over the tree stump again. You ready?
Over the tree stump. Here we go.
Keep talking. You can do it.
Oh, I don't know if I can do it.
Wait,
If I get off, I'll fall off my floaty
no,
and
you
then
don't
lose
have
my our YouTube family in the water.
to. Well, maybe it's an activation.
You guys want to get activated underneath the Diamond River waters? Whee!
We made it. Again. Oh. Hang tree.
So I know this is a difficult concept to wrap our minds around. Wouldn't you say it is?
Yeah.
It somewhat is, yes.
There is a lot of misconception around it, and I think everyone has his own opinion around it. Also related to the point in their how you say it, in their growth, where they are. So I think everyone maybe has a different point of view.
Yeah, that's true.
Try to climb on. Good to go.
We're good to good. I'm just trying to think though, because it's boggled me for so long. Yeah, it really has. Because there's a Nordic connection with that draconian energy as well. I think it's
Viking?
yeah, it's descended down through domination and control.
Yeah.
Yeah, domination and control.
And that's what's leading to wars now also, I think. That's what we also felt in the Naval Museum. Like those war, how do you say it? War-driven consciousness almost out of I feel it like masculine wounding. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. But it's also, yeah, there's something with this. There's something with the dragon. There's so many levels of Decepticons on the dragon's energy. Yeah, I don't like the mutilation. I don't like the manipulation. I don't like the
I think dragon
the
energy
separation.
could also be very powerful, like in cleaning ley lines, because it's the transformational fire energy also. That's
Well,
in
they
there.
say it's the dragon lines, but maybe it's the serpent lines.
Wow, yeah. Maybe they changed it.
Yeah,
Probably.
because the dragon lines are technically the telluric currents, and the telluric currents are rooted in like this is a telluric current. We're in a telluric current right now, and this is connected to the primordial waters.
Yeah. I can feel also like a lot of plasma energy, like cosmic mother plasma. So this is like a really magical place for me. It
Yeah.
gives me a lot of peace, and and we are feeling like, I think, really activated, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of transmission that was coming forward just a second ago with I feel like it's when you have female dragon clan energy, they're remembering the original dragon heart and home in Draco.
Mm-hmm. They're still connected.
Yeah. And I think parts of our planet have descended from multiple systems. That's what I kind of feel like. I think there's primordial progenitor celestial systems in which cellular essences of our planet descended from, one being from the Orion system and the whole Earth and Venusian split that occurred, one from the Pleiades,
And I think Andromeda.
essences from Sirian, and then the separation from Andromeda, and then also Draco
Yeah.
and Lyra. Yeah,
I slipped off again.
that's okay. Just give it a big jump. Give it a big jump.
You want to see me? You want to see me drown? Oh God.
Yay!
Got you.
Got it. Okay. Well, we're not gonna make it. I guess I have to pay attention to getting back up there, guys. So, because we're gonna have to actually walk back up this river. But yeah, thanks for tuning in for this conversation. We are gonna be heading to Kauai soon. So that's gonna be. We're actually starting the event technically on September 6th, where we start to do a lot of the preliminary work and preparation to go. We've already been scouting our itinerary over the last couple days. And yeah, we have...
It's going to be magic.
It's going to be magical. It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
We have so many beautiful places on the island to get to. And I just can't wait to share it all with you guys. We're going to be recording a lot of it. We're going to have a drone. Yep, so we're going to get some really high elevation shots and just some overview of everything. We're going to be working deep in the Nepali coast. We're going to be working in the Waimea Canyon. We're going to be working at the Venus Temple and the monastery grounds. We're going to be working at the birthing stones and the Wailua River. And yeah, we're going to be working to transmute all of the war-torn planetary field energy, and yeah, working separation and division.
Also
I think at its deepest
distortion.
core, gender distortion. I think working to heal the dragon and the serpent energy, right? To release all of the distortion and demonization off of these things. So much is going to go into this. So we're so excited. And those tickets are actually still available if you think you can come last minute.
You don't want to miss this.
You don't want to miss this. This is going to be transformational at a whole other level. So I'll put the links down in the description of this video, and we have our non-accommodation ticket still available. So if you want to attend, not the ticket to stay with the whole group because that's already booked, but we do have some spots just to still attend technically. And we're going to be also doing our final ceremony at the Garden of Eden. Yeah, we're actually going to a beautiful sanctuary called the Garden of Eden on the 16th, where we're going to do a whole day of ceremony and sound healing, 12th dimensional sound healing. So it's going to be really beautiful. I think we're going to also have a drumming circle and
Fire dance?
Fire dancing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be powerful, I think.
Yeah,
So-
it's going to be magical.
I can feel it already building the energy here.
Yep, I've been dreaming about Kauai. I actually woke up this morning. Was it this morning or was it yesterday morning?
Yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning. Everything merges into one. And I dreamed as if I was coming into Kauai, and it was just calling me home, and it was letting me know that these lands were the mother lands. Like, these were the lands of the mother. Yeah. And that I'm supposed to speak to that more. So I think more transmission is going to keep coming forward as we start integrating the consciousness of Kauai as we get closer to that inner Earth Gate site. Yeah, I even feel it flowing through this river right now.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
It's like almost like some emerald coatings.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, guys. So we love you all so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're having a beautiful everything. Me and Evie are out.
Almost.
We'll be getting out of the river in just a moment. All right, guys. Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Love you.
Take care.